And 72% of the time the market goes up. And the answer came to me. And that's when I developed my chart. The answer came to me is because, just like Caterpillar, when they pull their money out, you get out. Whoa.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Day on the Off the Wall Street Network.
Oh, God. Are you nuts?
With your host, Phil Grande.
Bye. And welcome to my podcast. Okay, what a weekend. Well, let's talk about what Trump, and I love Trump, I vote for Trump, I'm a Trump person, but I get upset when he doesn't tell the truth. So I'm going to tell the truth. Here's what he says.
We had the best economy in the history of our country in my first term, and we're blowing it out now. We're blowing it away now.
That is not true. I hate to report it, but it's not true. And other guys and gals who support him like I do, they won't report it. That's just a bunch of BS. And again, I support him. But he's got to stop with this. You got to tell people the truth, what's going on in their economy. Because what happens if you don't do that, and you feel like, wait a minute, I don't feel things are good. I just filled up my truck with gas or with diesel. I don't feel good. You go grocery shopping, you get out of your car after listening to him and his people, everything's great, and you go in the store, and you come out and say, you know, I just went to the grocery store, I don't feel good. I feel like I just got a financial enema buying apples and bananas. Don't feel good. So here's what's going on. Let's go back to the claim. His first term was play the cut again. Here's what I don't want to say something's wrong. Go ahead.
We had the best economy in the history of our country in my first term, and we're blowing it out now. We're blowing it away now.
Not true then. Not best ever then. Not best ever now. Okay, so let's look. But before we begin, the market. It's very important for you to understand that the short covering rally that has moved this market 12% since March 30th to Friday is over, is gone. That's a free ride. 3 stocks drove that whole market. And then underneath that, all the short covering. The short covering is done. So now you got 3 stocks, Amazon, you know them, NVIDIA, Google. So everybody's piling into those, and everybody's piling into the semiconductors. That's where they are. That's it. So this is a terrible market, right? Okay. So understand, we need the cyclical stocks, which is the backbone of our market. Okay? We need those cyclical stocks to come back and work. But we need yields to get down to near 4%. Right now, I think our yield is 4.3, if I'm correct. 4.3. So you got to get those yields down. Now let's talk about IWM. Nobody ever watches IWM, the small mid-cap stocks. That's the most important thing. Professionals, they watch that more than anything else. Because small cap stocks are the core of the economy. And they rely on yields going up. So on one end, you got the most important cyclical stocks. There's 6 groups. And they need to have yields dropping. You want to get them down to about 3.9%. And again, on the other side of the coin, we need the small mid-cap stocks to go up. And they rely on yields rising. But what small caps really rely on is KRE. That's the symbol for small banks. You've got to push these small banks up when there's high yields. That will push IWM up. So it's as simple as that. That's what you got to watch. Now, this is why when statements are made like this, play it again, what Trump said,
We had the best economy in the history of our country in my first term, and we're blowing it out now. We're blowing it away now.
Okay, what they focus on, okay, to say that statement, so it's like your 401k. They tell you get, 5-6% return, which is a lie. Your 401k, really the truth, if you're lucky, you get a 3% return compared to a 10% in the S&P. When they're selling you the 401k, read the small print. When they say, well, it's about 4 to 7%, with the assumption there is no fees. Well, there's a whole bunch of hidden fees. So again, they're focusing on just one strong metric when they're saying when his first term was so strong. Okay, so they focus on, like, for example, they ignore. Let's look at what they ignore. The GDP growth, the deficits, the investments. They ignore those. All right, they ignore those. But again, they'll take one strong metric, like low unemployment, while ignoring the GDP, while ignoring the deficits. Or how much money have we invested? How much has our country invested in infrastructure? So no, don't look at that stuff. Now, the whole picture doesn't support the claim that 2017 to 2020 was the best ever. No, it wasn't. If you dig in, you'll find that the economic data does not support that claim. From 2017 to 2020 was the best economy in history, our country, our life, even before the dragons and everything else. No. Here's why. Because growth and unemployment in the early Trump years, okay, but they didn't reach any historic highs. So you can't say it was the best ever, because growth and employment, okay, so it improved in the early Trump years, but did not reach any metric system of great highs. Real GDP growth averaged roughly 2.8% in the first 3 years, 2017, 2018, and 19. Not bad, but not the best ever. Not extraordinary. Not what he says. Play it again. Here's what he says.
We had the best economy in the history of our country in my first term.
Stop it. Okay. None of that's true. I just told you. None of it's true. They take one thing that sounds great and they run with it. Okay? So, when you look at all the past expansions, that first term that he was in as president, those terms, they're really bad. Now, while unemployment was low, and you remember this, we had unemployment that is very low, okay? We had low GDP growth, wages were low, and business investment was below levels achieved under all the other presidents. Let me repeat that. Business investment was below, under Trump, GDP growth, wages, business investment were below levels achieved by earlier presidents. This breaks my heart. I support Trump. Now, why this is bad is because when people feel everything's terrific, they go out and spend, put more money on credit cards, think they're going to have their job, they're not going to get laid off, or their job's not going to go from part-time to full-time to part-time to no time. And that's what's happening. Much of the job market, that's straight, was a continuation from all the prior recoveries that began in 2010. Not some new record-setting period. So 2017 to 2020 was good. But it was not terrific, the best ever. It wasn't. It just wasn't. Now that's going back to his first term before they cheated him out of the election and he had to wait and come back to the second term. I mean, and he does a good job. I don't know why he has this penchant to everything's got to be terrific, great, the best. I mean, he's like Barnum Bailey, okay, rolled up in tin. I mean, if he just stops that, because his actions, what he does is unbelievable. Nobody can match this guy. He's going to go down as the best president ever. But you got to stop telling people things that aren't true, because this is what's going to have us lose the midterm election. Because people are going to say, I hear what he's saying, but I don't get it. Just like, the real truth about the health of our labor market, okay, it's not good at all. So when people figure this is the best economy ever, oh, okay, I'm going to have my job for a long time. I'm going to go buy something I really can't afford, but my job's solid. But when you look at the job market, it's not solid. It's bad. It's cooling. It's uneven. It's a lot of stress in the job market. So if a person hears how great things are, he's going to buy a car he shouldn't, and then he loses his job 2 weeks later. He wouldn't have done that if they said, hey, here's the truth. The current economy, there is no evidence. Play it again. There is no evidence.
We had the best economy in the history of our country in my first term, and we're blowing it out now. We're blowing it away now.
No, they're not blowing it out now. They didn't blow it out. We had his first term was good, but we're not blowing it out now. And his first term wasn't as good as he says it is. Claims of the greatest economy in history is a huge overstatement. It's not supported by GDP growth or investment data. I'm talking about now. And we have inflation pressures. We have uneven growth in different areas. We have growth in this area, but no growth in that area. Everybody looks, look at the stock market, look at the stock market. But there's not that many people in the stock market. The top 1% are in the stock market. The only people that are in the stock market, I'm talking about the mom and pop and Main Street, they're not in the market, they're in 401ks. That's not the market. That's a slaughterhouse. Just before you're ready to retire, you're going to lose your money. Go and look at every time. People, I don't know why, but every time when someone's ready to retire, they've been working 30 years, all of a sudden, boom, market gets hit, and they don't have much money left in their 401k. That's why you stay with the S&Ps. The S&P 500 gives you a constant 10% return over the past 25 to 50 years. You don't get those returns in a 401k. If you're lucky, you get a constant 3%. If you're lucky, you put all the BS aside. But people don't understand, because but I get matched. They match me. That's a bunch of BS. They could not sell a 401k until they got the match. And the match is a bunch of BS, because the hidden fees wipe out the match. Unbelievable, this crap. So, where we are right now is not supported by his claims, not supported by the GDP, not supported by wage growth, not supported by, hey, look at the investments they're making. No, none of that either. And we have inflation going up. We have, as I said, uneven growth. We have, it just doesn't align with the label of best ever. It just doesn't. I was looking up earlier, and I'll share them with you, what's going on in the labor market. So, the true health of the labor market is horrible. The labor market is not good. It's under stress. It's mostly part-time jobs. It's mostly service jobs. The economy is entering stagflation. But they're not going to tell you they're not going to talk about stagflation. Have you heard anybody on these TV shows, the jibber-dabbers, talk about stagflation? What are you, nuts? They're not going to talk about stagflation. The economy is entering stagflation, which is the worst thing you can do, because stagflation, you can't fix it. You fix this side, the other side breaks. You fix that side, the other side breaks. It takes 10 years. The last time we had stagflation took us 10 years to get out. The economy is in a stagflation mode right now. It's awful, because we're slowing growth. We got this inflation that keeps growing. The labor market, okay, as I said, is very bad. Not very bad, but it's cooling. You don't see a lot of full-time, good full-time jobs with good benefits. Try to find a good paying job with good benefits. You can't find one. Job losses, they hide them. They hide them, but they're expanding. Small businesses, that's the backbone of our country. They don't hire. They're not hiring. They can't hire. They don't have any money. That's what grows the economy. That's when economies become unbelievable, the best ever. But when you don't have small businesses doing well, you're screwed. So do we have a great president? Absolutely. Do I support him? Yes. But he's got to stop with the BS or he's going to lose the midterm elections. And that would be sad. I'll see you on the charts. Join my gang, Phil's gang.